So I realized something this week.
What's that?
I really need to stop browsing Trade Me when I've had a few drinks.
How much stuff that you don't need did you buy?
Might have bought a Dam Busters Lancaster, the Airfix one, for about $50. Usually retails about 120, but I had a whole bottle of Ginro in me at the time, and it was like closing. It was like closing time. I realized half my stash I have bought while I've had a couple of drinks in me. I can go through and be like, yeah, that one was, yep, that was 4 beers. That was 6 beers down. That was 2 bourbons and a glass of wine. Yeah, I really need to keep away from that because I end up spending money whenever I've had a few drinks, and I'm trying to save up.
I feel you, man.
How many of you bought when it's just like you've had a few drinks, you're just having a look and I want that, and then the next morning you're going, oops.
Drinks? I do it completely sober.
Like there was.
Just be like, I shouldn't have bought
that. Or you're sitting there to look at your bank account, going, "Yeah, I actually didn't. I couldn't afford that." I did that with. I did that with. I bought Shet Payne's book on photoing models.
Oh yeah,
how to photo them properly. I still haven't read it, but I've got his diorama one, so it's kind of like, and someone was selling it for $5.
Oh hell, that's worth it.
The problem is, I added an extra 0 onto it. So it was my bid was 50, and no one else was bidding on it. And eventually, I didn't realize until after it was closed, because I was, I don't know, a 6-pack of beer down when I did that. And I looked at it and it just went, "You've won," and $50. Like, oh fuck no, that wasn't what I meant to put down. It was supposed to be 5 and then 2 decimal and then 5.00, not 50.00. So I had to contact the guy and said, "Hey, I know I put this down, but I really wasn't intending on that." I said to him, I was going to put an order bid down for like the highest was like $10.
Yeah.
He said, "Nah." He said, "Oh well, some people might have bid on it. They weren't. Like it started as $1, and the last 10 minutes it was gone up to like $4. It's like." But he said, nah, I get it. That's fine. I said to him, well, the highest I was going to pay for it was $10. So I'll send you. I'll give you $10 for it just for the inconvenience, because it was going to be sold off cheap anyway because no one wanted it. So
yeah,
So I was like, well, I kind of made it a bit annoying for him. So I was like, I'll double what I was going to pay him at least, and then he gets something out of it.
yeah.
But
that would suck.
I mean, it might be an unethical strategy, just claim you accidentally put in more to stop other people from bidding on it. I couldn't do that. I'm way too honest.
Same. But at the same time, if someone would come with me, back at me with that, it's like, oh, I didn't mean to do that. But like, well, sorry about that, buddy.
It's like
I need money.
It's like, I am too honest, but also too cheap.
Yep.
All right. Well, welcome to the Micro Machines podcast. This week, we're going to be talking about the F-101 Voodoo, a very interesting twin-engine jet from the 50s and 60s. Very cool looking, sort of like the light version of an F4 Phantom.
Yes.
But until we get into that, because I know we have a lot to talk about this aircraft and the models as well, including a very, shall we say, triggering story from Clint about one of them. But before we get into that, first off, for introductions, you have me, Callum, from Auckland, New Zealand, currently enjoying a very warm winter's day. Just came back from a morning of fishing off the beach, and a very successful morning at that.
And you have me, Clint, in Indiana, and It was too damn hot to do anything today, so I didn't do anything.
Isn't it like 107, 108 where you were?
Yeah, it was 107 yesterday. It was, I think, like 95 today.
That's not too bad. It's not too bad.
Yeah, Fahrenheit. So
Yeah, that's 100 and say 100. That's what 35 degrees Celsius. 30 degrees. That's not too bad.
yeah.
Then again, I am like a hot weather person versus cold. I detest the cold in any sort of forms and variations, so I prefer it if it's hotter than colder.
I mean, it's it goes back to the whole thing. It's like I like cold weather better because you can always put more clothes on, but you can only take so many off before you get arrested.
Before it becomes a felony.
Exactly. But
Or just
again,
or
I
just
work
becomes
in a
interesting.
Ford shop. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
I
it's
work
just
in a Ford shop, so I'm always hot. It's like 90-degree weather. It's like after you've been inside the forge, which gets up to 110 to 115 some days, and you walk outside and it's 95. It's like, oh hell, this feels like air conditioning.
and say, hey, I need to put a jumper on.
All right. So
All right, so the F-101 Voodoo. A jet that looks really cool, but I didn't actually know too much about, hence why I wanted to do some research into it for this episode. So, before the F-101 Voodoo, we have the XF-88 Voodoo, which looks really cool, especially the B variant, which we'll talk about in a minute. But first, the XF-88 was developed in response to a 1946 US Army Air Force requirement for a long-range penetration fighter. Giggity.
penetration.
Yeah, you can't say that nowadays. To escort bombers deep into enemy territory. Intended as a jet-powered successor to the P-51 Mustang, it was designed for high performance and a 900-mile combat radius. McDonnell began work on the design, designated Model 36, on the 1st of April 1946, and received a contract for 2 XP-88 prototypes on June 20th. Dave Lewis served as the project's chief of aerodynamics. The original design featured straight wings and a V-shaped tail, but wind tunnel testing revealed aerodynamic issues. As a result, the tail was changed to a conventional layout, and the wings were swept. The USAAF confirmed the prototype order on 14th of February 1947, and the aircraft was redesignated XF-88 on 1st July 1948 under a new naming system, receiving the nickname Voodoo. The Voodoo had a low to mid-mounted wing swept to 35 degrees. Its 2 Westinghouse J-34 turbojets were housed in the lower fuselage, fed by wing root intakes, and exhausting beneath the rear fuselage. This internal arrangement allowed for additional fuel storage to meet the long-range requirement. The short nose housed no radar, but was designed to carry 6 20mm M39 cannons. The pilot yeah, that's it was a bit more of a punch than say the F-86 with its 6 M350 cals in it.
Yeah.
There were actually a number of times where they used up all their ammo fighting MiGs and still didn't take the MiGs down. Whereas, the MiGs with 2 20 mils and a 23mm. No, 2 23mm and a 37mm took them down easily.
Yeah.
The short nose housed, read that. The pilot sat in a pressurized cockpit equipped with an ejection seat. The first XF-88 flew on the 20th of October 1948 from Murcock Field, piloted by McDonnell's chief test pilot Robert Edham. Powered by non-afterburning J34-13 engines producing 3,000 pounds of thrust, it demonstrated good handling and range, but was underpowered, with a top speed of only 641 miles per hour, slower than the F-86A. To address this, that's interesting too. The F-86 only had one engine.
Oh, that is true too, isn't it?
Yeah,
that is very odd.
Well, I guess you get that thing of it's only got one engine, but then again, if you have 2 engines, you have the added weight of said 2 engines, which could offset the power.
Very true.
To address this, the second prototype received McDonnell-designed afterburners, becoming the XF-88A, with upgraded J34-22 engines producing 3,006 pounds of thrust. It first flew on 26th April 1949, later matched by the first prototype. The afterburners improved speed to 700 miles per hour, but reduced range. Despite this, the XF-88 was selected over the Lockheed XF-90 and the North American YF-93, with production plans calling for more powerful J46 engines. However, shifting USAF priorities and budget cuts led to cancellation of the program in August 1950. The first prototype was later converted into the XF-88B for propeller research, using a nose-mounted Allison T-38 turboprop. That weird little thing down in the bottom left corner for all you viewers. It tested several propeller designs until 1956, becoming the first propeller-equipped aircraft to slightly exceed Mach 1 in a dive. Although there are theories a P-51 Mustang managed that.
I heard about that. Wasn't sure if that was true or not.
It'd be terrifying if he did. Could you imagine seeing a P-51 with a sonic boom? McDonnell proposed several variants, including a naval version, a trainer, and a reconnaissance model, but none were built. Both prototypes were scrapped by 1958. Following experience in the Korean War, the USAF issued a new requirement in 1951. A larger, revised version of the XF-88 was selected, eventually evolving into the F-101 Voodoo, which first flew on the 29th of September 1954. And of course, there are no models of it.
Was scrapped?
What is up?
Did they say that both models were scrapped?
I believe proposed both prototypes were scrapped, which is a travesty. There's one thing I detest about Americans during this period and after the Second World War and all that. They had all these prototypes, all these test beds, all these one-off aircrafts that they used, and they got rid of them. They just went, we don't need this, scrap them, get rid of. Say, just store it, please. Just put it in a storage. Forget about it. Leave it. Don't scrap them.
Was there any more experimental versions of the Voodoo made?
No.
Now, see, I would swear that there is a prototype of Voodoo at the National Air and Space Museum.
Is there?
There may not be. They got a whole bunch of prototypes there, so it may not be the Voodoo, but I thought it was.
Well, it could be the prototype for the F-101, not the F-88.
Okay, that might be it then.
Because the F-88 became the F-101 after a few design upgrades. So the revised design was significantly larger, carrying 3 times the fuel of the XF-88, and powered by more advanced Pratt & Whitney J57 turbojets. Accommodating these engines required enlarged intakes and modified engine bays to ensure adequate airflow and improve performance at higher speeds. To enhance aerodynamic efficiency, reduce weight, and address pitch-up issues, identified an aircraft like the Douglas D558-2. Jesus, get a better name. Mm-hmm. The horizontal stabilizer was moved to the top of the vertical fin, creating the F-101's distinctive T-tail configuration. In late 1952, the F-101's role switched from penetration fighter to strategic fighter, combining bomber escort and nuclear strike capabilities. A revised mock-up featured new intakes, T-tail, modified landing gear, and a dummy nuclear weapon was reviewed by the USAF in March 1953 and approved.
That might be what they have then.
Yeah, well, the one that you saw that's there, does it have a T-tail or does it have a horizontal that's lower down?
I believe it's a T-tail.
Yeah, then it's a 101. Then it's a 101, not an 88.
Okay.
On the 20th of May 1953, an initial order for 29 F-101As was placed. No separate prototypes were built. The Cook-Craig production approach was used, starting low-rate production for testing instead. Despite receiving an initial order, McDonnell was issued a production halt on the 16th of April 1954 due to a broader USAF budget cut. Production resumed only after a renewed go-ahead on the 2nd of November 1954, with the USAF setting an operational deadline for early 1957. The first F-101A, serial number 53-2418, flew on the 29th of September 1954 from Edwards AFB, reaching Mach 0.9 at 35,000 feet. Now privately owned, the aircraft is displayed at the Evergreen Aviation and Space Museum in Oregon, having previously been at the Pueblo West Road Aircraft Museum. Pueblo? Well, whatever.
Something like that.
Yeah. Following the Korean War and the emergence of the jet-powered B-52 bomber, also known as the Buff, and still going, I think that thing is slated to retire in, I think it's like 2090? Something like it's some ridiculous number. It's like they just keep upgrading it.
Funny thing is, there's been grandfathers, fathers, and then their grandchildren have all flown like the same aircraft.
I know, that's impressive, but also like, I mean, at the same time, the Buff looks really cool. It's a really cool aircraft, so it's like,
oh
yeah, we'll do an episode of them one day.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with. I mean, it's not broke. Why spend the money to replace it when there's nothing wrong with the B-52?
Well, they
just keep upgrading the engines.
Well, they did that. The last engine upgrade made them gave them engines that were less efficient than the last ones, but you know,
yeah,
military complex. The need for long-range escorts declined. Strategic Air Command (SAC) withdrew from the F-101 program, but Tactical Air Command (TAC) adopted the aircraft for a new role as a tactical nuclear strike fighter. This required changes including air-to-ground communications, external pod provisions, and structural reinforcements. TAC-backed testing resumed in early 1955 with Category 2 flight trials. Several issues, such as the autopilot, hydraulics, viewfinder, and control systems were identified and addressed with redesigned components. However, a serious pitch-up problem at high angles of attack remained, though mitigated with an active inhibitor system. By 1956, roughly 2,300 modifications had been made, leading to full-scale production beginning in November of that year. That is a few revisions.
Just a couple, yeah.
Yeah, just it's just like, okay, we got this, and this, and this, and you know, an hour later, yeah, we just need to change all of these things, and we'll be fine.
Is it really the same aircraft anymore?
It's a bit like the Helldiver went through the same issue. Literally had like several hundred changes to the prototype before they could actually fly it. Okay, so first up for the F-101 is the F-101A or the RF-101G. On the 2nd of May 1957, the first production F-101A was delivered to the 27th Strategic Fighter Wing, which transitioned to Tactical Air Command on July that year. The unit replaced its F-84 F Thunderstreaks with the more advanced F-101As, marking a significant step forward in performance and mission capability for the USAF's Tactical Nuclear Strike Forces.
The Thunderstreak?
Yep.
I don't know if you ever heard of the Thunder Shriek.
Is that the one where they put a propeller into it and it turned into something that would literally kill people from the sound?
Yes, which will be an upcoming Duds of War episode.
Yeah, that thing looks stupid, but also the fact that it could literally liquefy your insides from the sound.
Yes.
That's one of those. That sounds like one of those things you'd leave if you were abandoning an airfield. You'd leave it there for the enemy just to try out.
Oh, I've never thought about that. Yes,
that would be funny. They'll be like, "We got to test this thing. Let's turn it on," and then suddenly, just everyone just drops dead.
Or at least shits himself.
Yeah, and then it'd be like, "These guys fly these things? Yeah, no, we're not going near them." Psychological warfare right there.
Exactly.
So, the F-101A was powered by a pair of Pratt & Whitney J57-P-13 axial flow turbojets, which endowed the aircraft with excellent acceleration, a rapid rate of climb, and the ability to exceed Mach 1 in level flight without afterburner. Maximum speed
Nice.
reached Mach 1.52. Pretty nippy.
That's pretty nice.
With a generous internal fuel capacity, the Voodoo had an unrefueled range of approximately 3,000 miles, an exceptional figure for a single-seat fighter of its era. For targeting and delivery of both conventional and nuclear ordnance, the F-101A was equipped with the MA-7 fire control radar and integrated low-altitude bombing system, optimized for toss bombings of nuclear weapons. I believe that's when they start low and then kick up at the last minute, the last second, and then release like that, isn't it?
Yeah, when I think it kind of developed during World War II, and they try to bounce them into caves.
And I think the Wild Weasels use that for their Shrike missiles for anti-radar.
Probably that too.
It's literally just yeeting a nuke. That's what it is.
I guess it would be.
The aircraft was primarily designed to carry the Mark 28 freefall nuclear bomb. Though originally developed to deploy the McDonnell Model 1996 Store, a combined fuel weapon external pod conceptually similar to the Convair B-58 Hustler's weapon pod, another 50s jet I want to cover. The program was cancelled in March 1956 before entering service. In operational service, the F-101A could carry several nuclear payloads, including the Mark 7, Mark 43, and the Mark 57. While it was theoretically capable of deploying conventional bombs and rockets, or the AIM-4 Falcon air-to-air missiles, although those things were pretty shit, weren't they?
Yeah.
They didn't do much. These weapons were never employed in active service. Standard armament consisted of four 20mm M39 revolver cannons mounted in the lower fuselage. However, it was common for one cannon to be removed to accommodate a TACAN navigation beacon receiver. It had four revolving cannons. Not four cannon, four revolver cannons. Am I reading that right? Did it have four rotaries, or is it just like... I mean, it says revolver cannons. That must mean that it's like 3 or 4 barrels rotating. I need to do a bit of
20mm M39 revolver cannons.
So they're spinning. They got multiple barrels on each of them.
Either that, or maybe it acts like a revolver handgun where the magazine rotates.
Must be.
You know what? Google's our friend. Let's.
Yeah, you Google that. I'll do the next paragraph. You Google that, because that's if that's got 4 revolving cannons the way I think it is, that's nuts. The F-101A established itself as a record-setting aircraft. On the 12th of December 1957, a modified JF-101A test aircraft equipped with uprated J57-P-53 engines, originally intended for the F-101B, achieved a world speed record of 1,207.6 miles per hour during Operation Firewall, surpassing the previous record of 1,132 set by the Fairey Delta II in 1956. Though the record was eclipsed in May 1958 by the Lockheed 104 Starfighter, the Voodoo had demonstrated its cutting-edge performance. In a separate achievement, Operation Sunrun on the 29th of September 1957 saw an RF-101C reconnaissance variant set several transcontinental records. Los Angeles to New York and back to Los Angeles was 6 hours 46 minutes. New York to Los Angeles in 3 hours 36 minutes. And Los Angeles to New York in 3 hours 7 minutes. A total of 77 F-101As were produced, with only 50 entering operational service. The remaining airframes were retained for testing and development programs. The F-101A began to be phased out of frontline USAF service starting in 1966. However, 29 airframes were subsequently modified into RF-101G reconnaissance aircraft by fitting a new nose section equipped with cameras, replacing the original radar and cannon armament. These served in the Air National Guard until 1972, extending the operational life of the original F-101A platform well into the jet age. Sounds like you might have an answer.
Yes. Alright, so the M39 cannon is a 20mm caliber single-barreled revolver cannon developed for the United States Army Air Force in the late 1940s. It was developed by the Springfield Armory based on the World War II air design of the German Mauser MG213. Revolver cannon is a type of autocannon commonly used as an aircraft gun. It uses a cylinder with multiple chambers similar to those of a revolver handgun. So it's a single barrel, but it has a revolving chamber.
Right, gotcha.
Pretty cool looking.
Yeah. So, if you want to build an F-101A, well, you have a few options. The main ones being Vellum, seems to primarily make the Voodoo. And they have those in 72nd scale, including one of an F-101A that comes with a Mark 7 nuclear bomb. If you want to go old school, you have a Revell F-101A Voodoo in 72nd scale, although it's old enough that it could be a box scale. It doesn't actually say on it. And of course, if you want one in 48 scale, I would probably not suggest the Kitty Hawk F-101A-C Voodoo, as we're about to hear why. Clint? Please enlighten us.
The detail of the kit, the detail of this kit looks great. Maybe I just had a bad experience here, but I had ordered one, I believe from Spree Brothers. It came still wrapped in the cellophane. When I opened it up, the first thing I noticed was it had a cracked canopy. I had got a hold of Sprue Brothers. They told me that I needed to contact Kitty Hawk about it. Cool. I contacted Kitty Hawk, and they was like, "Oh, we're so sorry about that. Please send us pictures." So I sent them pictures of the cracked canopy. About 24 hours passed. I heard back from them again. "Oh, we're so sorry about that." It's like, just send us your shipping address and PayPal us $20 for the shipping and handling of a new canopy. It's like, I'm not going to pay $20 for a new canopy that arrived in a brand new sealed kit broke. So that was strike one. So I was trying to figure out what I was going to do. Maybe try to find an aftermarket like vacuum formed canopy for it, because I know like places used to sell them for like $8-9 a piece. And when I was building it, it's like the fuselage was warped so bad. Noticeably warped. There was like no like, oh, it'll be fine in the end. It.
Like if you tried to if you tried to adjust it, it'd be like noticeably deformed.
Oh, definitely.
Oof.
So it's like I had taped it down flat to a piece of wood, and I was using my heat gun on low setting, going back and forth, and warming the plastic up, then letting it cool back up. And it's like as soon as I would untape it from the board, it would like spring back to the original twist. It seemed like maybe it was getting better a little bit better each time, but not there. And eventually, as I was sitting there, low heat, with the heat gun, next thing I know, the plastic just drew up and shrunk. It's like, okay, yep, this is just going straight to the trash.
And how much did you pay for the kit?
Around $70, I think.
Oh,
yeah, 70 US.
Oh, that's rough. That's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but so, I would not suggest the Kitty Hawk.
You're better off with Vellum at this point. And I don't even know how good Vellum is.
I think Monogram makes a 148 scale. Voodoo. I don't think Kitty Hawk's the only one.
Yeah. So we move on to the RF-101A. So any Voodoo that has the R, has the letter R at the start, is a reconnaissance variant.
Mhm.
So, in October 1953, the United States Air Force directed McDonnell to modify two F-101 airframes into prototype tactical reconnaissance variants, designated YRF-101A. These aircraft were intended to fulfill a high-speed, long-range photographic reconnaissance role for Tactical Air Command. The success of the prototypes led to the production order of 35 RF-101A aircraft. Structurally, the RF-101A retained the airframe and flight envelope of the F-101A, including its 3.6 G load limit. However, the RF-101A was configured without radar or fixed armament. In place of the M39 cannon and the MA7 radar system, the aircraft featured a contoured nose housing up to 6 photographic cameras. The internal avionics suite was expanded per TAC requirements to support a wide range of reconnaissance missions. As with all F-101 variants, the RF-101A was equipped with both full flying boom and probe /drogue aerial refueling receptacles, and retained the capability to serve as a tanker via a centerline buddy refueling pod. Initial operational deployment occurred in May 1956, replacing the Agent Martin RB-57 Canberra in tactical reconnaissance squadrons. The first operational unit was the 363rd Tactical Reconnaissance Wing, based out of Shaw Air Force Base, South Carolina, which received its first RF-101As on the 6th of May 1957. The RF-101A saw its first overseas deployment during the 1958 Lebanon crisis. On the 15th of July 1958, the 363 TRW deployed 8 RF-101As to Increlink Air Base, Turkey, in support of the US Marine Corps landing in Beirut. Operating alongside a composites force that included B-57 bombers, RB-66 electronic warfare aircraft, C-124 Globemasters, F-100 Super Sabres, and C-130 Hercules transports, the RF-101A played a key role in providing real-time tactical reconnaissance imagery to US commanders. During the Cuban Missile Crisis in October 1962, the RF-101As from the 363 were tasked with conducting high-risk overflights of Cuba. Although successful in delivering essential photographic intelligence, the performance of the RF-101A during this operation exposed several operational deficiencies, particularly in survivability, electronic countermeasures, and sensor resolution. These shortcomings prompted a series of technical upgrades to enhance reconnaissance capability, eventually leading to the development of the RF-101C. All USAF RF-101As were progressively retired from frontline service by 1971. International use of the RF-101A included the transfer of 8 aircraft to the Republic of China Air Force in October 1959. These aircraft were employed for deep penetration reconnaissance missions over mainland China. The Taiwanese RF-101As were modified to include an enlarged vertical stabilizer of the RF-101C and revised air intake system that provided cooling for the drag chute compartment. This eliminated the 5-minute afterburner limit imposed on the unmodified RF-101As due to overheating concerns. Despite the improvements, at least 2 ROCAF 101s were reportedly lost to hostile action during their operational lifespan. And here we have one up in the corner here, a very nice looking camouflaged RF-101A.
It is.
They are a nice looking aircraft. I'll give them that.
Oh, they are. I want to build one so bad, but yeah.
It's just no one makes them, except for Vellum, apparently.
Yeah,
So
172nd.
Or 1-144.
It's even worse.
So if you want to build in RF-101A Voodoo, well, you have three options, and they are all Vellum. First off, you have a US Air Force One in 72nd scale. You have a ROCAF, the Republic of China Voodoo in 72nd scale. And you have a US Air Force One in 1 to 144 scale from Vellum. So I don't know who builds 1 to 144, but they are strange people.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, also you can see here in the box art the revised nose, which holds all the cameras. So up next we have the F-101B, the CF-101B, and the EF-101B. In the late 1940s, the United States Air Force initiated a research program focused on the development of next-generation interceptor fighter aircraft, culminating in the advanced 1954 Interceptor specification. While this initiative ultimately led to the selection of the Convair F-102 Delta Dagger, by 1952 it became evident that key components, specifically the propulsion systems, armament, and fire control technologies, would not reach operational readiness in time for the intended deployment date. Only the airframe design showed adequate progress towards the deadline. To address this gap, the USAF launched an expedited effort to develop an interim supersonic interceptor capable of replacing the then serving subsonic platforms. The McDonnell's F-101 Voodoo airframe was chosen as the foundation for the stopgap solution. Although McDonnell proposed the design designation F-109 to reflect the substantial design changes from the original Voodoo configuration, the USAF assigned the aircraft the designation F-101B. This variant entered operational service on 5th January 1959 with the 60th Fighter Interceptor Squadron. Production concluded in March 1961. The F-101B featured several major modifications. A reconfigured forward fuselage accommodated a tandem two-seat cockpit and housed the Hughes MG-13 fire control radar, derived from the F-102. The aircraft also integrated a data link with a semi-automatic ground environment, enabling ground-based controllers to guide the aircraft via autopilot inputs. Yeah, I'm not sure I'd like that as a pilot.
Yeah, that seems a little weird.
Yeah, having someone on the ground controlling the aircraft while you're trying to use it at the same time is... you really want to make sure you're friends with that guy. You really want to stay away from his wife. Power plant upgrades included a switch to more powerful Pratt & Whitney J57-P-55 turbojets, distinguishing the F-101B as the only Voodoo variant not equipped with the J57P-13. These engines featured significantly longer afterburners, which extended nearly 8 feet beyond the fuselage to avoid major redesign. With these enhancements, the additional aerodynamic refinements, the F-101B received a top speed of Mach 1.85, which is pretty decent.
Yeah, it is.
In terms of armament, the F-101B eliminated the 4 internal M39 20mm cannons in favor of 4 AIM-4 Falcon air-to-air missiles, housed in a rotating internal weapons bay. That's a downgrade.
Yeah, that is a downgrade.
There was that time, when the US Air Force decided that they got rid of guns in favor of air-to-air missiles because they thought that was the next step, except they weren't really quite there.
Right?
Evident in things like, say, the F-4 Phantom. The early F-4s didn't have any guns on them, and then they found that the missiles on them were too shit they couldn't actually shoot anything down with them.
Mm-hmm.
Hence why you see the early ones end up with gun pods in the center line, and then later variants ended up with a rotary cannon, just because, you need something.
Yeah.
And I think this is part of that sort of, we've got these air-to-air missiles, we'll just use those instead of guns, but yeah, no. So, Each side of the rotary launcher typically held one GAR, aim 4A, semi-active radar homing missile, and one GA2, or an aim 4B, infrared guided missile. Standard engagement procedures involved launching the missiles in radar-infrared pairs to maximize kill probability. Just saying, they're only carrying 4, 2 of each, and they're firing 2 at the same time, 2 at a time for one aircraft.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
It doesn't make much sense.
It really doesn't. Like, they don't work, and you're limiting yourself to at most 2 kills. So if there's a third aircraft, you're fucked, basically. Yeah. Later production blocks introduced provisions for the MB-1 or the AIR-2 Genie, a 1.7 kiloton nuclear-tipped unguided rocket carried on one side of the launcher. A nuclear-tipped rocket.
Oh, hell.
Okay. The 50s and 60s were a weird time.
Right?
Especially for nuclear stuff. There's going to be a Duds of War episode there's 3 nuclear options they could have used that they went in production with that I'm going to talk about for one episode. You probably know what they are.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay. They're as insane as you think they are.
Are we going to be talking about the nuclear cannon?
That's one of them. The other one is the nuclear mortar.
Oh.
And the nuclear backpack.
Like a satchel charge?
Carried by a person. Yep.
Yeah. Talk about a one-way trip.
It pretty much is, to be honest.
That's how you make ghouls.
Right. Carried on one side of the launcher, paired with improved GAR-2As, infrared guided Falcons on the other side. Beginning in 1961, earlier F-101Bs were retrofitted in this configuration under the USAF's Project Kitty Car upgrade program. They're really shit at naming things.
Yeah, sometimes.
Between 1963 and 1966, the F-101B fleet underwent significant upgrades under the Interceptor Improvement Program, also known as Project Bold Journey. This modernization initiative included the installation of enhanced fire control systems with improved resistance to enemy electronic countermeasures, as well as the integration of an infrared search and track sensor. The IRST system was mounted in the nose, replacing the in-flight refueling probe to improve passive target acquisition capabilities. The F-101B
you don't need refueling.
Nah, that's fine. You don't need it. They don't get that far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vietnam's not that long. Laos is just over the border. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
The F-101B was the most widely produced variant of the Voodoo series, with 479 aircraft delivered before production ended in 1961. The majority were assigned to the Air Defence Command, beginning operational deployment in January 1959. Canada was the only foreign operator of the type, where the aircraft was designated CF-101 Voodoo and served as the air defence role under the Royal Canadian Air Force. Withdrawal of the F-101B from ADC units occurred between 1968 and 1971. A substantial number of the aircraft were subsequently transferred to the Air National Guard, where they replaced aging F-102 Delta Daggers and remained in service until 1982. Wow.
I believe it.
It is the National Guard.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they're still not rocking Shermans. The final F-101B in active US service, tail number 58-0300, Was retired by the 2nd Fighter Weapons Squadron at Tyndall Air Force Base, Florida, on the 21st of September 1982. I am pretty sure by the 80s you had, wasn't the Fighting Falcon, or the Viper, as they call it now, around in the 80s? As well as, say, the Tomcat,
yeah,
the Eagle. Yeah.
But this was Air National Guard units. They always have older kit.
The Marines have slightly newer stuff than the National Guard.
Yeah, just slightly.
Just whatever the Marines don't want, the National Guard get. Something I realized: the F-22 Raptor is older than I am.
Yeah, you're right. It would be.
Yeah, because that came out in 1993, 1992, something like that. Like the first ones, and I was born in 95. I was like, the Raptor is older than I am. I thought it was I swear it must have come out after I was born.
No, it's not that old. Let me see here. It can't be that old.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's older than 30 years.
Manufactured 1996. I'll be damned.
1 year younger than I am. But, still, Jesus. You don't actually realize just how old. Everything we use right now, the designs are so old. Clearly, we're just not that, creative nowadays.
I don't know.
Not a lot of original ideas.
I just remember out at work because we still make parts for the F-22 because there's still a lot of them flying.
Yeah,
and it's one thing. It's like it's like, oh, why did we ever go to the? I mean, still the old guys out there at the fact. It's like, why did we ever go to the F-35? We just got the F-22 program flushed out.
It's like, yeah, it only took 30 years.
Yeah.
All
shit!
right.
I did not realize it was that old.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Abrams was designed in the 80s. The A-10 first flew in the 70s.
Yeah. The hell, there's nothing better than the A-10 though, so.
Yeah, the A-10 is irreplaceable, so, no matter how much they try. All right, if you want to build an F-101B Voodoo, well, you have the Kitty Hawk one in 48 scale. I wouldn't suggest
That's the one I tried to build.
You have from Matchbox the F-101F, the RF-101B, and the CF-101B Voodoo in 72nd scale. Revell has the F-101B Voodoo in 72nd scale, as well as Ace Hobby Kit has the, they call it the F-101 Voodoo, but the ones that they're showing are the CF-101s, the Canadian ones.
Yeah.
And if you really hate yourself, you can get a resin kit in 1:144 scale. That is the CF-101B Voodoo for the Canadian one, and that is by Mini Wing. If you really hate yourself, although it's probably still a better kit than Kitty Hawk.
Probably.
Okay, up next we have the F-101C or the RF-101H. The F-101A fighter bomber entered Tactical Air Command service despite several deficiencies, the most notable being its structural limitations. The airframe was originally intended to sustain 7.3 G maneuvers, but testing revealed it could only reliably endure up to 6.33, restricting its operational envelope. To address these shortcomings, the improved F-101C variant was introduced in 1957. This version featured a strengthened airframe, approximately 500 pounds heavier, to enable full 7.33 G maneuvering capability. Although at that point, the pilot is probably passed the fuck out.
I would think so.
Yeah. Additionally, the F-101C incorporated a redesigned fuel system to extend the duration of afterburner operation, enhancing high-speed mission performance. Armament provisions remain similar to the F-101A, including an under-fuselage pylon configured for nuclear weapon delivery and 2 wing-mounted hardpoints designed to carry 450 US gallon external drop tanks. A total of 47 F-101C aircraft were manufactured. Initially assigned to the 27th Tactical Fighter Wing at Bergstrom Air Force Base, Texas, the F-101 was transferred in 1958 to Tactical Air Command to the 81st Tactical Fighter Wing, operating under United States Air Forces in Europe. The 81st was based at the twin RAF stations Bentwaters and Woodbridge in the United Kingdom, and the 78th Tactical Fighter Squadron stationed in Woodbridge, and the 91st and 92nd were at Bentwaters. Tasked as a strategic nuclear deterrent force, the 81st leveraged the Voodoo's long range to replace nearly all Warsaw Pact territories and targets up to 500 miles inside the Soviet Union within striking distance. Both F-101A and F-101C variants were assigned to the wing and operated interchangeably across the squadrons. Operational aircraft were retrofitted with low-angle drogue delivery and low-altitude bombing systems equipment, enabling them to perform low-level, high-speed nuclear delivery missions. Pilot training emphasized penetration of hostile airspace at low altitudes, targeting Soviet or Eastern Bloc airfields. These missions were considered one-way operations with the expectation that pilots would eject behind enemy lines after delivery.
Oh, shit.
I'm sure the pilots would have something to say to that, like, yeah, I'd rather not meet the Stasi.
Right?
Yeah. It's like, what are they, Japanese? I mean, you'd be hard-pressed to convince a pilot to do that. I'd much rather just try and outrun it.
Yeah.
It's like, put a timer delay. Give me, 20 seconds.
It's got an afterburner. It can make it.
Yeah, just kick the afterburner. You'll be fine, I'm sure. By the way, the ejection tabs are just right behind your ears, just in case. The F-101C did not see combat and was replaced in frontline service by the F-4C Phantom II in 1966. Subsequently, 32 F-101Cs were converted into unarmed reconnaissance aircraft under the RF-101H designation and served with Air National Guard units until their retirement in 1972. Here we see both variants. We have the tactical fighter up the top, the F-101C variant, and then the RF-101H variant in the bottom with a very cool camouflage scheme. I got to say, jets look better in this three-tone camouflage scheme than they do in just pure silver.
Oh, yeah. The Southeast Asia scheme is just beautiful on them.
Oh, they look so much better than just like bare metal or anything like that. I mean, yeah, anything camo, to be honest, is better. And also trying to make anything in bare metal finish is just a pain in the nuts, so I'll always take camo over anything. Every time I build something that's bare metal finish, I sit there afterwards going, never again. Silver, like metallics paints, have a way of just accentuating any fuck up you've made.
Oh, yeah.
If there's a scratch in it, if you haven't sanded it right, it will show up. So, once again, if you want to build an an F-101C or an RF-101H Voodoo, your only options are Vellum. Once again, both in 72nd scale and 1:144 scale. I'm quite interested to know just how good Vellum kits are, to be honest.
Never seen one.
Yeah, to be honest, me neither. Oh, we got another Southeast Asia camouflage scheme right there. That's just beautiful.
I looked it up. It's like the National Air and Space Museum. They do not have one of the experimental versions, apparently. I don't know what it was that I thought I seen out there. But they do have an RF-101C.
Oh, nice. Well, we might as well talk about the RF-101C then.
Yes.
Gotta say, bottom right corner, love this photo. You got the 101C on the ground. You got this twin-engined cargo plane, and then you got another plane higher up. It's just nice. It's a good photo, that one.
It is.
So, the RF-101C, developed using the strengthened airframe of the F-101C, funny that, conducted its maiden flight on 12th of July 1957 and entered operational service in 1958. Similar in layout to the earlier RF-101A, the RF-101C featured a reshaped nose housing, up to 6 cameras in place of the radar and cannons. Despite its reconnaissance role, it retained the bombing capability of the original fighter-bomber variants. Is that so it can, like, photo before and after?
Possibly. I'm not sure.
I mean, it probably could do that, though, if it was carrying some ordnance with it, and then it's just like, here's before, and here's now. Especially if it was carrying a nuke, it's like, here's before, and here's nothing left.
And here's a crater.
Oh, look, here's the sun. Designed for unarmed missions, the RF-101C incorporated passive defensive systems, including the AN/APS-57 radar warning receiver. However, it lacked full all-weather capability due to the cancellation of the planned AN/APN-82 electronic navigation system. A total of 166 RF-101Cs were built. 96 of them were converted from airframes originally intended for the F-101C fighter bomber. The RF-101C achieved early acclaim during Operation Sun Run on the 27th of November 1957, when then Captain Robert Sweet set a Los Angeles to New York and back to Los Angeles transcontinental speed record in 6 hours 46 minutes.
Damn.
Yeah, that's pretty good, actually. Like, I wish we had those speeds now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the less time spent on an aircraft nowadays is so much better. Additionally, Lieutenant Gustav Klatt established a new Los Angeles, New York record of 3 hours and 7 minutes in another RF-101C. The RF-101C saw active deployment during the Cuban Missile Crisis and became one of the earliest USAF aircraft to operate over Southeast Asia, deploying in October 1961 with the 67th Tactical Reconnaissance Wing to conduct missions over Laos and Vietnam. Combat operations quickly revealed a need for night reconnaissance capability, with the RF-101C initially lacked. To address this, the 1964 Project Toy Tiger equipped selected aircraft with improved camera systems and centerline pods carrying photo flash cartridges. These were further refined under the Mod 1181 upgrade, which introduced automatic camera control, although the aircraft's nighttime effectiveness remained a point of contention.
And we was never in Laos. We was never over Laos.
Yeah. Yeah, we never did anything like that over Laos. No, they were a neutral country, weren't they? Yeah, totally not part of the war at all. Yeah. So I got to say, it had a centerline pod carrying photo flash cartridges. So basically, it would just light up the sky just to take a photo.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, can you imagine the poor bastards underneath that thing? You know, they can hear an aircraft flying over, they look up and suddenly, and I'm blind.
I was about to say they just get flashbanged.
Yeah, it's like the world's biggest flashbang. In early combat operations, the RF-101Cs frequently acted as pathfinders for F-100 Super Sabres, leading strike packages to their targets. The first RF-101C loss to hostile fire occurred in November 1965, though the aircraft had sustained damage as early as August 1962. North Vietnamese air defences steadily improved, posing increasing threats to the unarmed reconnaissance aircraft. Hence why the Wild Weasels were formed. Mm-hmm. Actually, my dad's got a book all about how the Wild Weasels in Vietnam started and all of that. It was really good. I think I read the whole thing in a day. Between 1965 and November 1970, the RF-101C's mission was gradually taken over by the more advanced RF-4C Phantom II. Over approximately 35,000 combat sorties, 35,000 39 RF-101Cs were lost, 33 in combat. These included 5 to surface-to-air missiles, 1 during an airfield attack, and 1 to a MiG-21 in September 1967. Although the RF-101C's high speed initially made it difficult for enemy fighters to intercept, its margin of speed advantage was reduced after the installation of ALQ-79 ECM pods in April 1967. These pods provided enhanced protection against SAMs, but introduced drag and weight penalties, necessitating fighter escort due to the increased vulnerability to MiG interceptors. Following its withdrawal from Southeast Asia, the RF-101C remained in service with USAF units until 1979. Nicknamed the Longbird, it was the only Voodoo variant to see combat. A total of 166 RF-101Cs were produced. That's kind of sad. That's the only Voodoo to see actual combat. And there's a lot of Voodoos.
There was. I thought... I don't know what I was thinking. I thought they'd seen more action than just during Vietnam.
Well, I mean, between Vietnam and Korea, which is like their sort of design period, there wasn't much going on.
Yeah,
I think there was 10 years of not a lot, except maybe the Lebanon crisis. But yeah, that was minor. So yeah, there was a lull. There was a lull in the world. Not many of those around. Anyway. So, if you want to build an RF-101C Voodoo, well, you have more than Vellum. You do have Kitty Hawk in 48 scale, if you hate yourself. You have 2 Vellum kits, both in 72nd scale, one in bare metal finish, and the other one coming in the sweet Southeast Asia camo. And you have one as a limited edition from Hasegawa. They have the RF-101C Voodoo in Operation Sunrun markings. You have 2 options, a red stripe and a yellow stripe one. Me personally, I would probably go for the red stripe.
Is that 148?
72nd, I believe, but I'll need to double check that. I don't think Hasegawa do a lot of 48 kits.
Not really.
Yeah. Just want to do a quick check. Yes. So, and we come to the 2 last major variants. There are, of course, a lot of sub-variants of the Voodoo, but we have the 2 last major ones. So first off, we have the TF-101B, F-101F, and CF-101F. These are basically all the same aircraft with different designations for them depending on their role. A portion of F-101B airframes were completed as dual-control operational trainers. Initially designated the TF-101B and later redesignated F-101F. A total of 79 new-build F-101Fs were produced, while an additional 152 standard F-101Bs were subsequently converted into the dual-control trainer configuration. 10 F-101Fs were transferred to Canada, where they were designated CF-101F, funnily enough, and served alongside the Canadian CF-101B fleet. In 1971, these were replaced by 10 upgraded examples to maintain operational capability with the Canadian Forces modernization requirements. Something which I need Don to give us a Duds of War episode on, just the whole Canadian procurement. You know every time he starts talking about that, he's holding back. Like you can hear it in his voice. He could probably fill an hour on doing that, and one day I'm going to convince him to do that. Because he wants to.
Yeah, deep down he wants to get it out.
Oh boy, I think it might be like a soothing, cathartic moment for him. And lastly, we have the RF-101B. In the early 1970s, a total of 22 former Royal Canadian Air Force CF-101Bs were transferred to the United States Air Force and converted into the RF-101B for the Tactical Reconnaissance Platform. As part of their conversion, the radar systems and weapon bays were removed and replaced with a suite of imaging equipment, including 3 KS-87B optical cameras and 2 AXQ-2 television cameras. Additionally, an in-flight refueling receptacle was installed to extend operational range. These modified aircraft were assigned to the 192nd Tactical Reconnaissance Squadron in the Nevada Air National Guard, funnily enough, where they remained in service until 1975. Despite their enhanced reconnaissance capability, the RF-101B proved costly to maintain and operate, resulting in a relatively short operational lifespan. And if you want to build one of these, the RF-101B or all the others, well, you only have Matchbox. You have one in 48 scale and one in 72nd scale. The one in 48 scale is actually the 48 scale one is actually a monogram kit. Which
Okay, I was thinking Monogram had a 148 scale one.
Yeah, so the monogram have an RF-101B Recon, which, I mean, I've built monogram before. They're not honestly too bad.
It's a kit by kit basis.
Yeah, it depends on what the time period and stuff, but generally I've found them not to be bad. In Matchbox, they also have the RF-101B in 72nd scale, which I did see online and I really wanted to buy, but the person wanted $50 for it. Which, I'm not paying $50 for a Matchbox kit.
So I bet you could pick that up at a model show for 10 or less.
Yeah. And here we have a list of all the Voodoo variants, because there are a few that we didn't cover in the main bit, but that's just because they didn't change enough. So, you have stuff like the NF-101A, which is a single F-101A modified by General Electric for testing a turbojet. You have prototypes like the YRF-101A. Other ones you have is the EF-101B, a single B variant converted to use as a radar target drone. An NF-101B, which is a B variant based on the F-101A airframe. The F-101D is a proposed fighter bomber variant equipped with General Electric J-79s. None of them were built. Same as the E variant, which is for the J-79 as well. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of sub variants here. I'm just going to leave those up. You can pause it and you can have a look at those totally but they didn't change enough to warrant talking about too much, And of course, the Voodoo had some successor aircraft. They were all replaced. So in the fighter bomber role, which was covered by the F-101A and C, the successor was the McDonnell Douglas F-4 Phantom II. The Phantom II replaced the Voodoo in the tactical fighter bomber role. It was faster, had better avionics, carried a heavier payload, and was capable of operating from both land bases and aircraft carriers. And they entered service in the 1960s.
Probably the most beautiful fighter ever built.
Yeah, I've got to get one day. I'm going to get and build a Phantom II. It's going to be in 48 scale. I just want to make sure I get the right kit for it, because I want to build a Wild Weasel.
Zakimura.
A Zakimura? Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So it's going to be a Zakimura in 48 scale, and it's going to be I'm going to build a Wild Weasel in in this camouflage scheme, the Southeast Asia camouflage scheme. That's one day I'm going to build that.
Definitely.
For the interceptor role, which was covered by the F-101B, the successor was the Convair F-106 Delta Dart. The F-106, part of the Century series, like the Voodoo, became the primary dedicated all-weather interceptor for the USAF. It featured superior radar, speed, and missile systems, including the nuclear-armed Genie rocket, later supplanted by modern fighters like the F-15 and 16 in the air defense role.
And it's ugly as can be.
I like it, but that's just from a modeling perspective.
Yeah.
And for the reconnaissance role, which was covered by the RF-101A, C, G, and H, you just had the McDonnell RF-4C Phantom II. The RF-4C, a dedicated reconnaissance variant of the Phantom II, replaced the RF-101 in USAF service. It provided higher speed, longer range, and more advanced sensors. And that's it. That's all we got for the F-101 Voodoo, a very cool looking jet that didn't actually see much service, unfortunately, but still, I wouldn't mind building one of them for myself. So,
Oh, definitely.
oh yeah, it's a great looking aircraft, and I know Garrison and Don really wanted to talk about it this week, but both of them just had thing crop up at the last second, so unfortunately, we'll still get them on.
Hopefully.
So, so that is all for the F-101 Voodoo. We're just going to have a quick intermission, then we'll get on to the usuals of the hobby news. There are a lot of very cool releases. Don't know if you've seen many of them, have you? Do you read the hobby news, the scale model news?
No, I haven't been up on it here recently.
Okay, there is one that there's going to be one that I really, really, really want. I'll never get it, but I really, really want it. As well as our usual whips, we have the group build to talk about and all of that. So we'll be back in 1 minute. And we are back with the hobby news. So I just wanted to tell Clint one thing. So last time we did this, I was with Garrison, and what I was getting Garrison to give a rating out of 10 for each release. This is a combination of like how good it looks, subject matter, all of that kind of stuff. So Clint, you're on deck for this one.
Awesome.
Yep.
Let's make some controversy.
All right. First off, from Zimmy Model in 35th scale, we have a 7.5 centimeter pack 40-1 ALFS GWLRSF SDKF Z135, also known as the Marder 1, and a German 50-ton type SSY 45 flat car, the Schrever Plattformenwagen. Basically, you get a Marder 1 on top of a train truck. Really, it's a 2-in-1 kit. 35th scale. I personally wouldn't mind having this.
I would too. If one thing that we need more in 135th scale is rolling stock.
We honestly do, because that's like, especially during the Second World War, that's how most of them got to there. And
yeah,
a lot of people like to model the sort of rear line of things. When things are a bit calm, you're seeing the more logistical side. A lot of people like to model that. So for me, I would really like to have this one. Plus, it's a Marder 1.
I've never heard of them.
No?
What's it? Zim Model? I've never heard of them. Are they a newer company?
Zimmy Model, we've announced a few of theirs, but they're not that well known. But they do some interesting subjects.
Since it comes with a flat car, I give this a solid 7.
Yeah, a good 7 out of 10. I can agree with that.
Marauder 1's kind of a niche kit too, so yeah.
Yeah, 7 out of 10. Up next, from Kotari, they have announced the Spitfire Mark 1, the Photo Recon Type A. This is going to be an exclusive limited numbered edition. Pre-order is available in the fourth quarter of 2025. Of course, the Mark 1 Photo Recon was painted in a light blue color, unlike the later versions, which were done in a light pink. 32nd scale, as always, from Kotari. I gotta say, I uber want this one.
Short run kit, they usually have their problems, so 6 out of 10.
I mean, it is Kotari, though. I mean, most of the things they'll be doing is just like a few additions to convert it into a Photo Recon. I'm gonna give this a 9. Just because I've seen Kotari kits in real life and people building them, because it is a New Zealand brand, and the guy who owns Kotari does go to my model club, so a lot of people build them. So I get to see them like in detail a lot, and they look outstanding. So, like last time we had go for it.
Oh, it's like my only experience with like short run kits has been Pacific Coast models, which they're hit and miss.
I mean, yeah, this one they're just doing a limited edition one, but Qatari don't do like short run. They do, they have massive. Like the last time I saw Qatari at a model show was the Auckland Nationals, and they was set up, and by the time I left, like 3 hours later, they were sold out. And this was when they just announced their new Spitfire.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and those things are not cheap as well. Up next from Gecko. Yeah, from Gecko Models in 35th scale, we have a Bedford YOY Armadillo Mark III transport truck. This is a truck that's been up-armored with a wooden box that includes 3 Lewis guns, and I think it is an air cannon. There's a 37mm air cannon in the back, but I need to look it up because it's definitely bigger than a 20mm. I can tell you that.
Mm-hmm. I love gun trucks, so 8 out of
10. What's better for this is does come with the usual. We have examples for the British RAF and the Home Guard armoured truck. It does include 1 driver and 1 soldier figure as well. So that gives it a solid 9 out of 10 for me as well. Plus, also Gecko Model been bringing out a whole bunch of armoured trucks lately, and I am so for it.
Oh yeah.
And this thing just looks so cool. From Vargas Scale Models, here's bringing out in 35th scale an Odessa I think it's an NI or an N1, a Russian improvised armored tractor. This thing is built, I believe, on top of one of their light tanks, or even not the Bren carrier though. But it's this weird little tractor, has 2 machine guns in it, one in the hull, one on a small, possibly one-man turret. Vargas bringing out the weird things again. What do you think about this?
I'm not a big fan of Soviet stuff, but I don't know. 6 out of 10?
Yeah, I'll go with 6 out of 10. It's not something I'd usually go for. I mean, it looks cool, but I've yet to build a Vargas models though.
Me either.
Up next from Border Models, they are bringing out the Sherman M4A1 late variant. This come with 2 types of gun barrel, both metal and plastic, workable suspension and track links, 4 paint schemes, and full set of US Army packages, boxes, German gas masks, helmet. Full stowage set comes with it, which I am totally down for. What's your thoughts?
Well, if they've fixed the problems from their last Sherman release, I'd give it a 10 out of 10. Because we need more Shermans.
Well, more A1s, I think. The cast body. Which is weird. The A1, the real life one, like life size, I don't like. You scale it down to 35th, though, I'm all about it. I don't know why. But I'll give this a 9 out of 10 as well. Definitely down. Border have been making some really good models lately. They just made one little cock up, but we'll forgive them for that.
I think they're also coming out with a 251, or you may have already talked about it when I wasn't on an episode.
I think so. I think they did. Up next from Mini Art, we are getting a Dresden 1945 T3485 field repair set. This is they're calling it a big set diorama series. This includes a T3485, 8 figures, road signs, diorama base, photo etch parts in 35th scale. I gotta say, quite nice.
It looks pretty nice. I mean, anytime you get stuff like the road signs, the street lamp, tools, it's like figures in good poses. I'll only take off some points for it being Soviet and give it a 7 out of 10.
I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I mean, it is mini art, so it'll be a ball ache to put together. But at the same time, like giving the fact that it's like you got 8 figures with it, you got a full T3485, you got all of that. It's a nice addition. Like, Garrison would be all about this one, eh?
Possibly. If it had a house facade, it'd probably be right on top of it.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I mean, still, I think this one will be quite popular. I think you'll see this a lot soon.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just the figures alone, you wouldn't have to use the cobblestone base.
Yeah.
I mean,
you could replace that for anything.
Oh yeah, it's like the cleaning of the barrel. It's like that is a good figure set right there. That would be a nice to have.
I mean, they could have just released that by themselves, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Up next from Sword, we are getting a Nakajima C6N1S Suyin, or the Mert, and the Aichi. Is it Aichi? The B7A2 Ryusei, or Grace, both of them coming in 72nd scale. So the Mert is a torpedo. It's a dive bomber that replaced the Val, and the Grace is a torpedo bomber which would replace the Kate. Both of them look really cool. Wouldn't mind probably have the Grace, to be honest, just because it's the weirder of the two looking. It's got a gull wing to it.
I was just going to say I like the gull ring.
Yeah.
For being 172nd scale, I have to take points off, so I'm going to say 6 out of 10.
I'll go 7 because they're the lesser known of the Japanese. From Thunder Model in 35th scale, they are bringing out the US Heavy Wrecker Ward La France Model 1000 Series 4. This is the it's a wrecker. What more do you need to say? It's a heavy wrecker. I mean, it's not a Scamel, but I will still happily take this one. What are your thoughts on it?
It'd be nice to have. Don't know much about Thunder models. Never built one, but I say if it's got good reviews when it comes out, I'll say 8 out of 10.
Okay, 8 out of 10 as well. I do like a wrecker, I will say. It doesn't matter what truck it is. If it's a wrecker, I am all for it.
We always need soft skin vehicles.
We actually do. You don't see too many of them nowadays, to be honest. It's all tanks.
Mm-hmm.
From Thunder Model as well, they are bringing out another wrecker, the US Heavy Wrecker Ward La France Model 1000 Series 1. So you can see there are slight differences as well as in the scheme. The Series 4 comes in a later Allied scheme, whereas the Series 1, that is an Operation Torch scheme. As you can see it has the white star and then the yellow circle around it, which is all originally part of Operation Torch. So, again, 7 out of 10 for this one. Would love to have it. Honestly, it's the earlier version, so I'd probably prefer that over the later variant.
Oh dear, I'll go with the same.
Yeah, they look cool. They're just a good looking truck as well.
Oh, they are.
This one's a bit of a weird one. It's Beaver Corporation, I believe. They're bringing out a 1-700 Imperial Japanese Navy Taiko. This is a heavy cruiser. The Taiko it has 5 turrets to it. And yeah, don't know what this one would be like. I don't think they've actually released many ships, but I wouldn't mind having one just because the Japanese heavy cruisers have some very interesting looking ships.
Yeah, you're right. I'd say 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I'll go with a 7. So it's Beaver Corporation / Verifier, because they are bringing out a few other ones. In 16th scale, they have a T-55, which also comes with ammo. In 350,
1 out of 10.
Yeah, 16th scale. Although T-55, I like the T-55, but not 16th.
Yeah.
They have the IJN Battleship High in 350 scale, which is a very early battleship. I think it's possibly World War One design. Just looking at the layout of it, I'll give that a 7.
7. Yeah.
In 350 scale, they have the Shinano aircraft carrier, which I'll give it about an 8 because I like the Shinano.
7 or 8, yeah.
As well as the heavy cruiser, the Aoba in 350 scale. Yeah, I'll
9.
give it
If it's good, it's a 9.
Are we hearing? Do you like the Aoba?
I do. I do.
Why is that? This seems oddly specific. Is there a story behind that one, or is it just you just like it?
I just like it.
Yeah, well, fair enough. I'll give it an 8. You give it a 9. Very
I give
cool.
it a 9.
I
Yes.
wonder what Verifire is like. I've been hearing about them, like seeing their stuff, but I don't know what they're like.
Read into what is his King Hornfisher. Read some of his books or listen to some of them.
Okay, I'll have a look. Up next from St. George model in 35th scale. This is a limited edition German 7.7 centimeter LFK L35. This is an artillery gun from the First World War. Includes shells for the German gun, the 7.7. I gotta say now, I would really like one of these purely because my dad actually has one of the shells for this gun, the 7.7.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just it was one. You know when German prisoners they make trench art out of things to sell so they can buy things when they're in camps.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what he has from his great granddad, John Cooper, who was a brevet captain in the Royal Marines during the First World War. He ended up with a couple of trench artwork shells, and one of them is the 7.7 centimeter LFK L35. So I wouldn't mind having one of these, just a little family touch there.
Nice.
So for that, I'll give this an 8 out of 10.
I'll go along with that.
Yeah, I gotta say the shells look very weird as well. They have a very short, like,
the casing is very short on them.
Yeah, the charge and casing is very short on them. They're very weird. The World War I artillery is just odd.
Yeah.
Up next from artillery, they're doing a few reboxing with new parts. For the first one in 72nd scale is the AS-42 Sahara, which is the Italian armoured car that they would use a lot of. That one comes with the Breda. Oh God, I don't know Bredas that much. It's the heavy machine gun Breda, the heavier caliber one.
Yeah.
And
Man, look at all the jerry cans on that thing.
Oh no, right? You definitely need them.
Yeah.
In 48 scale, they have the Fiat CR42 Falco, which I would happily have. Give that 8 out of 10. I love the Falco.
I'll agree with you on that.
And in 72nd scale, the Dornier DO217K-1 and the K-2 with the Fricks X-Bomb, which I've seen one of those bombs in real life. They have one at the Hendon Museum. They are super, super cool. I'll give
they
that
got
one
at the National Air and Space Museum as well.
Oh, yeah. Oh, cool. That comes in 72nd scale. I'll give that a 7 out of 10. I wouldn't mind having a 217. I've got a DO17, so having a 217 would be pretty neat to have.
Being 172nd, I'll knock a point off that.
From Model Collect in 72nd scale, they are bringing out the USAF B-21 Raider, also known as the Baby B-2. It's basically a B-2 Spirit, but downsized. Like, if the B-2 Spirit is 48 scale, this is it in 72nd scale. Basically, they look the same. Model Collect is a very weird company. They make all those like paper Panzer type stuff, so I don't know how good this one would be, but it'd be interesting. Not quite a subject I would build, but still, I think people would enjoy this one. I'll give it a 6 out of 10.
I'll go in the middle, 5 out of 10. It's a 72nd scale.
From Flyhawk in 1 to 700 scale, they're bringing out a limited edition HMS Hood 1940. This is a deluxe edition, which I struggled to find any news on what that means, but probably means more photo etch and resin parts. That's what it usually does. I gotta say, I really want this kit. I really want to try out a Flyhawk ship kit, and then HMS Hood. Well, it's HMS Hood. I'll never turn down that. I'll go 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about Flyhawk. I've never built one of their kits. I got a couple of their photo etch kits in the stash, but yeah, I'd say 8 out of 10.
The only downside is they're heinously expensive, but probably worth it, to be honest. Like 700 scale, things get a bit blocky. So if you can make it not blocky, then yeah. And this one's for you. Snowman model bringing out an SD KFZ 251-1 Alfs D. This is with the Stuka zu Fuß. So the 251 with the Nebelwerfer rockets attached to the outside in wooden launchers, by the way. So they were known to jam up or break up or not be very accurate. And you have fucking 6 high explosive rockets that are 32 centimeter diameter ones. So on a strap to the outside of a 251 is not very well armored.
No, it's it's a lightly armored vehicle.
Yeah, so if one of those were to say, you never what?
I've never heard of snowman models.
Yeah, they released another 251 before. This is just like a sort of a new kit with different parts for the Stuka zu Fuß rockets. You can only imagine being inside one of these things and say you're getting shot at with small arms fire with these high explosives strapped to the outside of you.
Yeah.
You wouldn't last long.
Okay. So they're border models then.
It's just basically border. Is it just one of the like Trumpeter has just borders. Like Trumpeter has high iHeart kit, all of that. So it's just one of those things. So this comes with 3D printed parts as well as metal gun barrels, photo etch parts, 3 types of markings, full interior as well. I was having a look at the 3D CAD renderings and even right down to underneath with all the suspension is fully detailed as well. So I think that this will be one to try out, especially for you. You would have to get your review on it, considering you're
Does it have an engine?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, I'll definitely look into this and pick one up.
I knew you couldn't pass this one up. It's a 251.
Oh no, it's a 251. It's got to be better than that AFB club one I just picked up. That is fucking dog shit.
Or you could get the Tamiya one, which is out of scale and.
Now, don't even get me started on the Tamiya one.
Oh, one day we will. 8 out of 10 for this one.
If it is good, I will give it the 10 out of 10.
From Trumpeter in 16th scale, the German Tiger, the King Heavy Tank, they're calling it. This one is with the Henschel turret and the experimental 105mm gun, as opposed to the long-barreled 88. The Germans did try upgunning the Tiger II to have a 105mm, but it turned out the 88 was actually just good enough. They didn't really require the 105, and it took up more room inside and performance. The performance of the 105 versus the 88 wasn't enough to justify it, so they didn't bother, but they did make some prototypes of it, so you'll get this in 16th scale, which, a Tiger II in 16th scale is pretty big.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go for this. And it's also a Tiger II. I'm not a Tiger II guy.
Oh yeah, I like the Tiger II, but 1/16 scale, that's automatically 1 out of 10 for me.
I'll give it a 3. Just because they're going different with the 105 variant.
Maybe 2 then.
Yeah. From Hobby Boss in 35th scale, we're getting a Cougar 4x4 MRAP. Don't know how good Hobby Boss is. It's a modern kit. It's an MRAP. I'm not too familiar with them. This is more of a garrison area of expertise. I'll give it a 3 out of 10, just because. It is in 35th. I don't know how good Hobby Boss armor kits are though.
I built one Hobby Boss kit, and come to find out it was just a Reeboks TriMaster.
Yeah, I was going to say that's just a Reeboks of a better brand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trumpeter, 35th scale as well. The AH-1W Super Cobra helicopter later version. They did bring out the standard the early version of this. They're just bringing out the late version. I don't know the differences between them because this is built after 1945, and I don't know much about them. I wouldn't mind having a Super Cobra because I kind of like them, but it wouldn't be a priority build for me.
I mean, we need more good helicopter kits in 1/35th scale. It seems like a lot of them come out in 1/48
or 72nd, and that's just tiny.
So yeah, if this is a good kit, need to look at some reviews, but I'd say it'd be an 8 out of 10.
I'll give it a 6 out of 10. You know what we desperately need though?
A Huey in 1/35th?
Yes, we need a damn Huey in 1/35th that looks like a damn Huey.
The Dragon kit is really good. I mean, compared to, I think we only got Dragon and Academy in 1/35th.
Isn't the Academy ones like shaped sort of like a Huey, but not quite?
Yeah, it looks like they took a Black Hawk and tried to make it into a Huey.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But the Dragon kit, it's good. It's good enough. But we really desperately need a good one.
Yeah. A proper Vietnam era Huey.
Yes. Which, with all the Vietnam veterans that's into scale modeling, you'd think we would be flooded with good ones.
I know. Stop with the M113s. Start with the Hueys. From Trumpeter as well in 350 scale, we are getting the HMS Royal Oak battleship. This is one of the last battleships the British built during the Second World War. And for me, I would really love to have this, although I am biased because I love British battleships and battle cruisers and ships in general. So, and also I have no issue with Trumpeter kits at all. So in 350 scale, I'll happily buy this one. It's a really nice looking battleship, the HMS Royal Oak.
Yeah, say 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. From Meng, we are getting an FT-TSF French radio version. So this is an FT-17, but converted into a radio carrier. This is part of the Stegosaurus series, and comes with resin parts as well. So, I got to say, 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I'll say 9 out of 10.
I mean, it's different. It's World War One. It's Meng. Meng's World War One stuff is generally pretty good. Love to have this. I've seen someone build this up already, and it looks amazing. These are the two I really wanted to talk about. So from TACOM, as part of their TACOM Wings thing, TACOM started to build aircraft now.
I wasn't really aware of that.
Oh, they are now. In 48 scale, we are getting two Heinkel HS-129s, a B2 and B3 variant, also known online as the Panzerquaken, because it looks like a duck. These are coming with full interior. Of course, the B2 being armed with the 30mm cannon in the gun pod, and the B3 with the famous 75mm. There are also some additions to these kits. Since they have a full interior, like you got the wing roots, you have the cannons inside them, all the mounts, everything like that. These kits have clear parts as a bonus included. So half the fuselage, clear half. The top half of the wing is a clear part. You'll be able to see inside the whole thing, so you can fully detail up, paint up the interior, and you'll be able to see it. Which I think is just a cool thing to have. Like, if you're going to have a full interior aircraft, have this option,
Yeah. Yeah, this should be pretty cool to build. Right?
Oh, I love it. I love the HS-129. I'm going to go 10 out of 10 for this one. But wait, there's more. Can you believe there's more?
I hope so.
TACOM Wings are bringing out the HS-129 Squared box. This will include both the B2 and B3 kits, as well as two 48 scale 3D printed pilots, one for each, and also a 48 scale Panther A to go with the kit, because why not? This is a limited edition. You essentially get 3 kits in one with 2 additional pilots for the Panzerquakens. I gotta say, 10 out of 10 for this boxing.
See, I'd actually drop that down. I'd say 5 out of 10.
Yeah, why's that?
Yeah, why would I want a 148 scale Panther? But
Well,
that's just me.
why not? I mean, you're getting the 3D printed pilots to go with them.
I mean, if anything, they should have put like a 148 scale T-34 that you can depict blowing up.
I'll give them that. I'll drop it to an 8 out of 10 for that. Then yeah, that's a better idea.
Yeah.
Or a Sherman, or something allied, but
Yeah.
but still, it's a nice idea. It's a nice thing to do.
Yeah, it's a nice idea. I'm sure someone would like it. It's not for me.
Oh, this will sell out.
Oh, I'm sure it will.
Up next from
Ooh.
AFV Club, we're getting a Striker M1296 ICV Dragoon with the ESA MWO upgrade. This is basically a Striker with, I don't think it's the 25 Bushmaster. It is a bigger cannon than that, just looking at it. Again, it's a modern vehicle, so I don't know much about it. But at the same time, I would love to have this. It looks really cool.
It does.
I'll go 7 out of 10 for this one.
Yeah, I'll do a 7.
I also really like the AFV Club box art, the old school painted style. There's something nice about that. From Ming, once again, we are getting the German Panzerhaubitze 2000, the self-propelled howitzer, the one they currently use. This is coming in 72nd scale because, of course, the 35th scale was brought out not too long ago, and this has been brought out in 72nd scale because Ming is starting to do some strange things nowadays as well. I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
Oh, that high?
It's a. I don't know. I've been building a lot of 72nd scale armor lately. I think I've slightly started to bias myself. From Meng, again, we are getting a McDonnell Douglas F4E-2020 Terminator. This is the Turkish Air Force. And, well, it's basically their standard Phantom 2, but the Turkish modifications, including this really sick 70th NATO anniversary decal set, which has a really cool tail art and stuff like that. I mean, it's a Ming F4E. You can't really go wrong with that.
Yeah, I don't know much about the F4, but I know they've been bringing out some really good modern jets, or more modern-ish jets. So, yeah, I'd say 7 out of
10. You also get cockpit and interior equipment included with a boarding ladder, targeting pod, and electronic countermeasure jamming pod, 3 paint schemes. Leading edge slats and flaps can be installed, retracted, or deployed. AGM-142 surface-to-air missiles, cruise missiles, all sorts of different armament to have. A metal pitot tube is included, which is good. Would be good for me because I keep snapping the damn things.
10.
Pre-cut stainless steel photo etch parts are included. Horizontal stabilizers are movable, and pre-cut painting masks are included for the canopy, which is a nice touch.
It is, yeah.
From Clear Prop in 48 scale, they're bringing out an H-70M Hawk. This is the Curtiss Hawk that was never used by the Americans, but was exported to the Chinese during the Sino-Manchuria War. You know, when the Japs invaded the Chinese and
Yes, you're correct.
did heinous things. Yeah. So the H-75M Hawk was an export variant of the Curtiss 75 Hawk that was given to the Republic of China to fly against the Japanese. It didn't do too well, but they did the best they could. This one comes with a very high polished chrome finish and the Republic of China decals for it. I gotta say, give it a 7.
Yeah, 6.
And that's it. that is all for the releases. What do you think of the releases this week? What do you think? They're a decent lot.
Yeah, there's a good mix of good and bad.
Yeah, at least now that we're not recording as often, the new releases do build up, so we get a lot to talk about nowadays. So, but there's also
That's
just
true.
a lot of new stuff coming through that's really good.
Yeah.
Up next, we're going to look at what we've been working on. First up is
It's mine. The top is the Bandai AT-AT. Been threw it together and put it back into the box as soon as I get the airbrush back out again to start working on the Avenger. I'll pull it back out and start painting it up, get the base colors down on it. That's just kind of a fun little project that I wanted something to work on before the group build started, so I guided that out and started working on it. And then for the group build, I'm going to be doing the Accurate Managers TBF Avenger. And I got the Edward Look Brasson set to go with it, which comes with resin reels and resin seats, and also the Look cockpit parts, which are like pre-painted, but it's pre-painted on resin, which I forget exactly what process that is called. I looked at a printer that does this, and they're really expensive.
yeah.
Yeah, like $3,000 for one.
Ooh, I mean they look amazing. I gotta say.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Nah, that's gonna be cool.
It's gonna dress this Accurate Miniature kit pretty good, which is already probably the best Avenger kit on the market.
I was gonna say you're already starting with a top tier kit right there, so you're just gonna make that even better.
Mm-hmm. That's all I have this week.
And I've only got 2 at the moment. So first up is my U-96 U-boat vignette. This is depicting U-96 from the movie Das Boot. The moment it surfaced after being depth charged, hence why I've had to make the conning tower blackened and stuff like that. I basically copied it off the movie, so it's not based off a real life thing. This is a movie scene I've depicted. That's my excuse. So of course I had to scratch build so this is the 1:400 scale Hella kit. It didn't have the handrail that's kind of iconic to the Type 7.
Yeah.
Didn't have that, so I had to scratch build that with stretch sprue. And then the water effects I've done just using tin foil, AK still water, and just regular paint, as well as cotton wool for the splash effects and stuff like that on there. So trying to get the cotton wool to line up with the bilge pump of the Type 9, the Type 7. So you see them rise up and all the water comes splashing out of the hull. So I was trying to recreate that as well. So yeah, I'm still working on water effects.
It looks damn good. I really like it.
Yeah, I think I managed to get it to work. Cheers.
Yeah, you did.
And then, whilst waiting for our group build to start, I needed something to do last weekend, so I built up a Trumpeter 72nd scale Ferdinand tank destroyer. It's a fairly decent kit, and it's just going to be a small Battle of Kursk diorama or vignette that I'm going to do for it, and it'll just take me a weekend to do. So, a fairly good kit to put together, and it's looking all right. The Ferdinand's a cool tank destroyer, so yeah, I've got an idea. I've got an idea because you see Ferdinands and Kursk, and they got waist high grass. They're in waist high grass.
Yeah.
Well, I happen to have fake grass at the right height, so it's going to be a Ferdinand in high grass sort of thing. So I think if I can do it well, it will look really cool. Basically,
we need to do an episode on this because its electric drive system was crazy.
Yeah, broken. Didn't work that well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's it for works in progress. So we're just going to have a quick word about our group build, which as of now has officially started, actually. So Of course, it is the Naval Aircraft Group Build. Any aircraft, fixed-wing, rotary, jet, or lighter than air, any time period from the inception of human flight to now, said aircraft must be in the service of a nation's naval or maritime defense element, or have a role which is primarily maritime in nature, i.e., RAF Coastal Command in World War II. Competition build will run from the 1st of July, which is already gone, to, we initially said the 30th of September. I think we're going to be pushing that out to October.
Yes. Yeah.
And maybe slightly longer. We'll see. As usual, competition submissions must include a photo of the kit and the box, as well as 10 detailed photographs. The photo in the kit, though, we're not too worried about. It's just mainly the photos at the end. Recreational can include already finished builds or shelf queens, winners to be announced on a future podcast. At the moment, this is looking to be our biggest group build yet, to be honest.
Nice.
We've had quite a few people reach out to join. So, of course, if you want to join in, you can join our Discord, which will be in the description, or you can follow our dedicated group build Instagram. That is mmp_group builds. That's where you'll find a lot of information and see what people are doing and stuff like that. We'll be posting to that one as well. So follow that. If you do join the group build, all we ask is you to tag that account into it whenever you're posting about it, just so we can see you're working on it, and just to let other people know about it and gives them something to follow. So yeah, that is the current group build. And that brings us to the end of our episode. But of course, the last thing we need to do before ending is to thank our Patreon supporters. So, of course, we have our Pinju supporters, Paul Gallagher, Lord Floki, Robert Judson, Brel Mastroni, and Liam Barnett, with our Pinju follower, Robert Brisbane. Did I tell you, I actually met Liam yesterday.
Oh, yeah. He's a Kiwi too, isn't he?
Yeah, he's down from the Taranaki region in New Zealand, so the bottom area of the North Island. So it's about a 9-hour drive up to Auckland. He was up for a family thing and whatnot, and he said, we should meet up and have a drink and stuff like that, catch up. So yeah, we drove out to a local hobby store and met him there, went across the road to a bar, and yeah, had a good old chin wag and whatnot. He's a really nice guy. He actually brought me up, he went pig hunting the other week, and so he brought me up a whole bunch of wild pork, which I have in my freezer now, so yeah, big shout out to him. Liam is a really cool guy. He's really cool. Good to talk with.
Nice.
You usually chat with him on a Friday night or Saturday Discord, whenever the Kiwis are around, but yeah, we should try and organize a few like Discord meetups as well.
Oh yeah, we need more of them.
Yeah, we'll need to do that. We'll look into that.
Yeah.
But that is it. That is the episode. So, as usual, if you are still watching and listening this far, thank you very much. This has been the Micro Machines podcast. We'll be back in whenever we feel like it, talking about whatever we feel like. And don't forget, we have our subsidiary podcast, Duds of War, which is primarily audio only. It is on YouTube. It's not like this one where you have slides and all that. It's purely just audio, but we would really appreciate if after this you go along to the Duds of War, either Spotify or YouTube page, and subscribe there. Let us know what you think about. There are currently 2 episodes up right now, the Show Shot Machine Gun and the Athens Double Barrel Cannon. So we'd like to know what you guys think of that one as well. But until then, we will see you guys in the next episode. Bye for now.
See ya.
What was the end recording command?